Well, good morning viewers. Today I've decided to try a battery test with one battery today. I want to see how far I can go in this spring weather on one battery. I've decided to go to a cave. It's called Shinyodo Cave. I haven't been there before, but it should be an interesting ride because it has uphill, downhill and nice long straights, so it's a good real world ride with one battery. So I know that my Super Soco has two batteries, and some people have commented that they wonder what the bike would be like with just one battery, because that's all they can afford to initially when they buy it, that's all they can initially afford to get. So I thought let's try a one battery ride and let's see how we get on. Temperature wise, it's about 15 degrees now, 15 degrees centigrade. I think it'll probably be up over 22, 23 degrees, which is the ideal level for a lithium-ion battery. So I'm just going to start off now and we'll go on the journey. I don't expect it to take a long time today, but it's interesting to see how it goes. I've never done it with one battery. It sounds strange, but I've always had two batteries on this bike, and I've only ever used it with two batteries. So the key point here is that I'm in mode 3. I'm not going to use mode 2. I just don't think it's realistic. I mean, if you're in the city riding in traffic, I mean, mode 2 is okay. But if you're out like I'm going to be using these roads today, normal sort of driving roads, you're not going to be in mode 2. You just won't be. So I'm just going to stick to mode 3. And I'm not going to ride it like a maniac. I'm going to ride it like on a normal EV bike, like I normally ride this bike. So just however I feel like riding it is how I'm going to ride it. One of the roads that I'll be on today goes around the outside of a large dam, so it's a straight road, and that really is usually an energy chewer for batteries, just riding at constant power the whole time. So I really will be interested today to see how we get on. So last time we rode was the cherry blossom video that I did. That was quite a long ride. It was just under about 75 kilometers, I think, from memory. Just under 50 miles. And that was just about right for the two battery bike. So it tells me today that in mode 3, it's 100% charged on the one battery. I can do 50 kilometers. And what I have found with this Super Soco is that if you are using it in mode 3, that it is very accurate in the range in mode 3, that the display that says the percentage that's remaining on the battery, it's very, very accurate. Mode 2 and 1, it's just nonsense, but definitely mode 3, it's excellent for a true accuracy. So it tells you what percentage is left. So in other words, if it says there's 50% battery remaining, it's equal to 50 kilometers. I haven't actually done a calculation in miles. I don't know how that converts to miles when you're actually looking at it in mode 3. I could set this actual speedometer to miles and try it that way, but I can just put it up on the telemetry data. It's just as easy. They're just going through this village at the moment, so this is a typical speed around here through the village. So Chonyudo Cave, where we're going to, from what I can tell, it's a very small cave, and people when they go there, they can turn the lights on to go into the cave themselves. And I'm just going to put my visor down, sorry. And when you leave, you turn the lights off as you go, so it's a really local place to go, I think. It's very Japanese, that's all I can say. I'm just in the process at the moment of buying a larger battery charger. The battery charger that this comes with, it's a 71.4 volt battery charger, but it's only 4 amps, and you know that just takes too long to charge up the 2 batteries. So I looked on AliExpress, and there's a manufacturer in China that makes actually great power supplies. They're quite well known and very reputable, and I'm going to buy one of those. I've already bought the cable that connects into the little socket on the side of the Super Soco, and I'll just wait for that charger to come. The one that I want to get is a 15 amp charger, and it varies the current, so when you put it in initially, it doesn't just supply 15 amps flat out, it actually has a current limit on it, so it gradually builds up the current as the cell capacity gets higher. So it's quite a nice charger. So that should be arriving in the next week or so. So I'll make a video about that and put that up as well when it comes. We've been riding for a little while now, and according to this, it's 46% 46% range, so 46 kilometers remaining on the charge at the moment as I'm riding along here. So when we turn right just here, this is the straighter road that I was talking about. It's a 50 km/h speed limit, and it's basically almost straight. There are bends in it, of course, but it's basically a wider, straighter, faster road. So we're just going to go down here. This is what I call a battery chewer. It really sucks the power out of these EV vehicles. I'm just going to be turning left here. This takes us over the top of the mountain. There we go. So this is the sort of road that I was talking about being narrow, low speed road. This is the best for the Super Soco. You're not going very fast. Basically, not that the Super Soco won't go faster, it's just that the road condition, and it's a bit narrow and you don't want to go fast because of cars coming around the corners and things like that. So you're just going at a slower pace. So yeah, you can get a really long ride out of that. I think the Cherry Blossom ride I was riding for 2.5 hours, and that wasn't even on roads like this. That was on some straight roads, of course. But literally, if you had a road like this, you could ride it probably 4 hours without any issues whatsoever. On 2 batteries anyway, I don't know about 1. We'll find out today what we can do on 1. Okay, we've reached the top of this narrow road, so it opens up a little bit more now. So we're just going to travel up here for a kilometre or so, and then we're going to turn left. And that takes us on to the road which takes us to the cave. So let's just check now. It tells me that I have 36% of range remaining, or 36 kilometres. So yeah, it was a few uphills, so yeah, and a few flat areas. I think that's reasonable. It's to be expected, I suppose, with a 1 battery bike. Don't forget though, when you reach 20 kilometres or 20%, it goes into the power saving mode, so that's when really the bike is useless. I suppose if you're in peak hour, rush hour traffic in the city, when you're just crawling along, you know, because there's traffic jams and so on, it's fine. Even if it was in power saving mode, you wouldn't really notice it, I guess. But you certainly do it in any other scenario, that's for sure. Well, I think we're nearly here, hopefully. Just cross this bridge. Yeah. Somewhere around here is the cave, apparently. It really is in the middle of nowhere. There's absolutely nothing around here. No people, there's a couple of houses, that's about all. Oh, here it is. I can see there's a little clearing area for us to stop. This is fantastic. I could actually find it. Okay. Here it is. Here's the entrance to the cave. There's a little shrine over there, a Japanese shrine. And I'll check the range now. What have I got here? So obviously I'm still in mode 3. I've got 29% remaining, 29 kilometers that I can actually travel on the bike, on the Super Soco now. So it's definitely going to go into power saving mode soon when I'm on the way back. So I'll just keep going until the bike won't go anymore. And then that'll give us the exact range that we can do. But it's interesting, if you watch the video you can see exactly the roads I've been on, straight and up and down and so on, and it'll give you an idea of the true world riding. So now I'm just going to get out. I'm going to take a video of the cave and just a little walk around here. As I said, there's a nice little shrine here. I'll get some video and pictures, and yeah, I'll put them on the video as well. Okay, so I'll see you again in a minute. Thank you. The cave looks like it's just here actually. Oh, there it is. Let's go and have a look inside. And here's the light switch I was telling you about. So you just open up the box and turn the light on yourself. If I can get this open. There we go. Oh, you lift it up. Here we go. Turn on the breaker. The lights go on. Self-service, that's what I like. And then we can go through the cave. We'll have a look. Wow, it's cool in here. Hopefully the light will come out okay. You can see a lot of formations up there. It's very echoey in here. Wow, it's excellent. It's been raining, so it's wet. Oh, I can see there's a little cavern opens up. There's a hole through there and opens up more. They've done a really good job here. It's free. Anyone can just come here and walk around and have a look themselves. It's quite interesting. Wonder if there's any bats in here. Here we go. Wow, this opens up very nicely up here. See all the rock formations up here. It opens up. It's wonderful. It's really nice. It's very tall. It's probably about 30 meters to the roof. You can't tell from the video, but it is quite tall. Oh, I could just hear a bat. There are bats in here. So basically just up there, there's a little black area that you can see. There are all the bats. Oh, there's some flying around. And that's, yeah, they're the bats up nesting up there. So this really is the bat cave. I'm going to get out and turn the lights off so these bats can go back to sleep. Okay, so we've just got back to the bike after going through the cave, and we're just going to head back. Let's see how we go with our low battery mode. At the moment, as I said earlier, we have 29 kilometers that we can still go. 9 more before we go low battery mode, which is not going to be too far from here. Okay, let's go. That was good in the cave. It's only a very small cave, but it was good enough. You could see nice formations, and there's bats living in there, and I liked how you could turn the light on and off yourself and just go in. But I could guarantee there'd hardly be anyone, tourists that go there. It's just a fairly remote place, and a lot of city people would be too scared to come here because of the narrow roads. They just wouldn't come here. But I could imagine if you had kids, they'd be running all around the cave and screaming if they saw the bats, and they'd have a fantastic time, I think. Okay, so we're back on the main road here. And now we can push the power a little bit. We'll get up to speed, 50 kilometers an hour. Around here's the speed limit. And it's 25% remaining, so 25 kilometers. So only 5 kilometers before we reach the lovely power saving mode. This is good. The road's reasonably smooth. It's quite wide. It's a lovely road to ride on the Super Soco. It's been lovely today. Not many cars about. It's been good. Okay, so it's official. It's reached 10%, which is 10 kilometers of range to go, and it's in low power mode now. I've got it absolutely flat out now. And this is the thing that I've just realized, that if you have 2 batteries, you would think, okay, then when you reach 10% remaining, you'll go into low power mode with 2 batteries. But oh no, when you reach 20% remaining, it goes into low power mode. I don't know how the engineers worked out that logic. So you have more power available, but they'll cut it off sooner. That's unbelievably crazy. So here I am, flat out, struggling up the hill here. I'm doing 25, according to the speedo, something around that range. So this is okay on this little back road. You're supposed to be doing 40 kilometers an hour, but this was a road, normal road, where you're doing 50 and most people doing 60. This is pretty hairy, I can tell you, on a busy road. Here we go, we're up a little bit of a hill, and we're doing about 20 now. In fact, there's cars coming. I have to pull over to let them pass. That's how bad it is. And a bike. Here we go, let them pass. Car's freaking out. Oh, I just hit the bushes. Eh. On a bit of a downhill run, so we're not using the power, so I'm doing over 40 now because it's just rolling. So if your return journey's all downhill, 100% downhill, you've got no problems. 5% remaining. You can see how it drops off much quicker, right? And this is not even the steepest part of my hill, and I'm already, yeah, I can't go any faster. I don't know if I can actually make it back. I don't think it'll actually be able to climb the steep part. Let's see. So this is the danger that these things have, these Super Socos, with this low power saving mode. It's not the greatest of ideas, I can tell you that. Most EVs will just, you know, flash a light, you know, oh, it's time to charge your battery, but it still continues to deliver the same performance right to the end. So, you know, which is what you really want. You don't want this. Imagine this, if this is a 50 km/h road and this is the speed that you're doing. How dangerous is that? I've got 4% remaining. There's a car coming down the hill. I'll just move over here. And as I said earlier in my video, imagine, you know, I'm out riding with my friends and then this happens. Like, it's really bad for them. Here we go. This is not the steep part. This is the steep part, and I'm already nearly not making it. Here we go. Let's see, will it make it? I have to put my feet down. Yep. I have to put my feet down. I've got them up again. It's trying. It's 2% remaining. So I'm able just to keep my balance just by moving the front handlebars and balancing as best I can. I don't think I'm going to make it up here. Motor's making a grinding noise, not a grinding noise, but a groaning noise. Really doesn't like this low voltage. Still climbing though. Oh, I have to put my foot down again, it's too low. I'm doing 1 km/h and tells me still I've got 2% range left. I'll give it a help. I'll get my feet out and start pushing it up the hill. This is not embarrassing at all, people, is it? Imagine this on a roadway with you know, with a higher speed limit. It definitely helps if I can just give it a little push with my feet. It just helps it a little bit. This is our starting point. There we go. It's 1% remaining. This next little bit of the hill just up here to where my base is it'll be 0 by the time I get there, so I'm not going to be able to make it up by just riding. So that's it for today, viewers. This is the absolute extreme range that you can go in mode 3 with one battery, just normally riding, and you've seen it today. You can look at the telemetry data. That's it, we're done. That's as far as our battery will take us. So please use this video as a reference, and yeah, good luck with it. I recommend you buy a Super Soco with 2 batteries so you don't have this issue. Okay viewers, we're finished today. We did our ride with the Super Soco and the 1 battery, and you can see from the telemetry data down the bottom of the screen here the conditions. It has the mountains and also how far we actually went with the 1 battery. And as you can see on my return trip, hitting the low power range mode, what it's like. And the sort of speed that the Super Soco drops down to when you're coming back on 1 battery. But it's realistic. It's what you will get in real life. It's not what the papers and documents and brochures tell you, or the sales rep at the shop, which is absolute nonsense. This is real life riding. I'm not riding fast today. I wasn't riding slow. I was just riding normally suitable for the road conditions that we were on. And that's what you'd get when you buy a Super Soco with 1 battery. That's the sort of range that you can expect to get on that sort of typical riding day. If you're in the city, very low speed riding in rush hour traffic, as I said earlier in my video, when you're doing 10 kilometers an hour, 20 kilometers an hour and stopping at traffic lights, well, obviously you can expect to get more range out of the bike. Don't forget though, we're in mode 3. You can go to mode 2, but to be honest, you're not saving a lot in the overall scheme of things when you're touring along these sort of roads, especially when we went on to the straighter road. You're not going to save a lot of power anyway, a lot of energy out of your battery. So I just stick to mode 3 and use this sort of a range as a reference. Alright, thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you again next video. Thank you very much.